I'm super excited because we are starting a new project. We are redoing our schoolroom and our playroom, and it's really shown me a lot about how I need to let go and let my children grow, but also let them be little. Today, what I want to show you is just some of the things that we're doing to get ready for the painters to come. As you can see, we have a very brightly colored playroom. It was perfect for when the kids were little and they enjoyed bright colors, and it was so much fun. I have so many happy memories in this room. My kids are now all between the ages of 10 and 13, and so it's starting to feel like a little outdated. So we decided that we were gonna hire a painter to take care of all of I have like polka dots in here. True story, I actually painted this room myself when I was pregnant with my second child. I used mixing bowls to make the polka dots. So this room is full of amazing memories, and it's time to move on. And so join me today as I declutter and show you sort of my process with how do I go through things and what kind of questions do I ask myself, and then how do I manage the grieving process and the letting go and all that's involved in blessing and releasing people with these items. I'm excited to show you around. Hi there, my name is Dawn. If we haven't met before, I am a licensed marriage and family therapist, a homeschooling mom, and a Jesus lover. Welcome to Living by Heart, where we live intentionally with God and family. We really are into breaking through the barriers that hold us back from intentional living, because when we live intentionally, we're unburdened and free to fulfill our God-given destiny and purpose. So we are going to go through some of the bins today, and what I'm finding is that there's such a mix, right? Like, I have to let things go because they've outgrown them. And I also want to consider my future grandkids. So there are some toys that feel kind of vintage to me. And then there are some toys that I feel like I can let go of and sell. And then we are licensed foster parents, and while we haven't had a placement yet, I do want to keep some really little toys around for babies and toddlers, because I might just have somebody join our family for a while and need a few things to play with. But I'm very choosy about what I keep around, and sometimes I think long term, and sometimes I have to be honest with myself and let go. And so we're going to do that process together today. So bear with me. We're going to go through a few drawers, and I'll show you some of my favorites along the way. So we're going to start with what I called my sorting bin, and we are just going to see what we find. A lot of things that I haven't seen in a long time are in here. One of my very favorite things that my kids ever played with was these vehicle counters. Oh my goodness. If you don't have a Lakeshore Learning by your house, these were amazing. They are so cute. They have all the different colors and all the different vehicles. There's some of my hair in there. Love it. My husband says I'm his favorite black lab because I shed everywhere. So this is definitely a keeper. This is a great preschool toy. This is a great long-term toy. And so I think I'm going to definitely hold on to this one. This was my handmade sorting. I just went to Michael's and I bought all of the pom-poms. As you can see, they're spilling everywhere. And when my kids were tiny, I would have them use these little tweezers, and they would work on their dexterity by, oh, there's a Post-it note in here. And they would just sort them by color, and it was so fun. And the other thing that we did is we put like a little toilet paper roll like on the side of a cabinet, and we would tape it there, and we would feed them through with some of these smaller pom-poms. And again, it kept them busy for hours. So if you have preschoolers, this is like my hottest tip ever. That one I think is going to stay as well. And really there's not much in this drawer. Oh boy, what am I doing here? To be honest, it's just those two items. And so I really do feel like I want to keep those. But then I'm going to get rid of the Post-it note. So we're making some progress. Then we have the snack drawer. Ooh, the snack drawer. Ooh, wow. Okay, well, we're not getting rid of anything from there. And then we have fine motor. If you have little ones, to just give them paper, and they can just have stamps of every color and kind. I gotta be honest, I think this is probably seen its time. I think that my kids don't find this interesting anymore. But what I love about this is like that kind of makes me sad, you know, like picturing them at the art table doing that when they were just teeny little people. But I totally know so many families who would love this is because it's such a great collection and all of the stamps are super festive. Another one is, oh, this looks like a matching game. So I'm actually going to let this go. It was low quality. Again, I think I'm going to donate. When I go through bins, I actually have 3 different piles. I have the keep, or I have the throw, so it goes right out to the trash, and then I have the donate pile. I call it the bless and release pile. So I sell quite a bit on Facebook Marketplace. I also use all the consignment stores. So obviously if it's kids stuff, places that I typically go might be Once Upon a Child. Otherwise, I use a local consignment store for my home items and then also my clothing items. Kind of just depends on what I'm getting rid of, but I usually take it to the consignment store first. Anything that the consignment store passes on goes on to the donation center. So then I bring it all at once to the donation center. And that is such a great feeling to release all that stuff, right? And to know that it's going to a great place. Let's keep going with some of our fine motor stuff. This might not be that expensive, but I feel like the uniqueness of it makes me want to keep it just in case I have younger kids around. It is such a fun game to make all the different designs, and it provided a lot of stimulation and interest for my kids. So I think I'm going to keep this in my back pocket as like a learning toy and tool to have on hand. This is maybe just, this is one of those, it's called a rhombix, I think, or rhombix. And this one is fun, but it's actually missing some pieces. So I don't want to bless anybody with that. So that's going to go in my garbage pile. Last but not least, I've got this adorable lacing card. So if you look, this is our family when I was pregnant with my youngest. And all I did with this was make my own lacing cards. I printed photos, which is like a really strange thing to do these days. And then I laminated them with construction paper. And then I just punched holes and did like a decorative edge. And then I just bought shoelaces at Michael's and we just practiced lacing. So this is like a really sweet memory, and I think I can be honest and let it go. When I've been cleaning out, I've been amazed at how there's such a balance in letting them be little and letting them be big. I have found that, actually some of the toys are special to my kids. They still want to play with, and I want to let them have those toys. Even though we live a minimalist lifestyle and we're super intentional about what we keep around, I've noticed sometimes they feel like, oh, but I should get rid of this, or maybe I could get rid of this. And we've tried as parents to really balance it. Honestly, like if they hang on to it for another year or two before they're super duper in their teenage years, that's okay with me. Not giving any pressure to them to release things if they're not ready. I really feel like there's freedom to keep it as long as it has a purpose and as long as we have, created an intentional place for it in our home. That's where I'm going, is I just want to make sure that everything that we're surrounding ourselves with brings life and joy and in no way kind of enslaves us or clutters us or causes us to, drain energy from important things like connecting as a family or fulfilling our purpose, whatever that might be individually. And so managing lots of stuff takes that energy away. And so it's always this balance, right, of trying to figure out what is the purpose that this will serve and what is my plan for this item, and how you really have to make an appointment with yourself to do this work, kind of like we're doing together today. This is one of my all-time favorite toys. If you can get your hands on one of these are magnetic marbles, and then this is like a magnetic, I don't even know what you'd call this, like a paddle. It is so fun. So you just like lay the marbles on the floor and then this thing just picks them up. So as you can see, like we're going through the preschool bin today. And so all of this is really fun stuff. I am going to definitely keep this. The replacement value would be high, and I'm not even sure they make this anymore. I'm actually keeping more than I expected, but all of the things that I'm keeping are extremely useful for that age group. This, on the other hand, can go. So Disney Princess, it's a handwriting pad. I can easily just let that go and recycle it. Here we have a whole bag of lacing cards. I really feel like it's time to release this. We enjoyed these thoroughly. Everybody knows how to tie their shoes now. We are having the painters come in and they are going to paint this just a neutral color. And basically what we're trying to do is move from that preschool elementary room to more of a middle and high school room where we're going to have larger space for our desks. We're going to have more efficient storage for toys and activities. And then we're going to have like a little media corner where we can do math lessons or snuggle up and read a book. So we're trying to create very intentional spaces that reflect our priorities in our homeschool. And I'm also just enjoying watching my kids go through this. And I would say the internal process that's happening right now is that I'm just really asking myself over and over and over again, what purpose does this serve? And is it something that I want long term? So a lot of the things that I'm going through and finding, I actually want to have on hand for my grandkids. There are toys that they don't make anymore, toys that I feel like are legacy toys, things that maybe I received as a child that really still hold value. Then there's a whole lot that we are blessing and releasing or even throwing away because things are just worn out. Meanwhile, I'm trying to balance letting my kids be teenagers, letting them be middle schoolers and high schoolers, letting them kind of help me direct the process. So actually, it was their idea to stack those toy shelves, and they did the measuring and they made sure it fit. So it's been really life-giving to just do this as a family and to really be thoughtful about what's important to us. And what we've come up with so far as we're decluttering is that what's important to us is to be able to learn in this room, to connect in this room. We want to be able to read in this room. We want it to be warm and welcoming. We also want it to be kind of a hangout space in case the kids have friends over. It's above our garage, so it's kind of a fun, big room that, you can just purpose in so many ways. And I've been realizing that sometimes I have a resistance to letting it go because I don't want my kids to be grown up. I want to hold on to those smaller stages. And so I have actually had to sort of sit with those feelings and say to myself, it's okay. There are so many good, great days to come, and this season has just as much joy in it as that season did. And I have to recognize that every season of parenting has its pros and its cons. And I really just have to embrace each season with a whole heart and be like, okay, God, show me the joys of this season, things that you want me to learn, because I don't know about you, but I feel like I am constantly learning from my kids. Thank you for decluttering with me. I am going to take these piles and I'm going to make sure that they make it all the way out of my house. And I'm telling you, I am excited because this playroom represents all of the things of childhood, and now we get to revamp the space, and I can't wait to show you the outcome.